There is a hole in the ground in one of the most remote deserts on Earth. It is on fire, has been for over 50 years. No rain has killed it. No winter has touched it. No government order has stopped it. It started with a single decision made in under an hour by a team of Soviet geologists in 1971, and that decision has been burning ever since. This is part 1. This is how it started. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why a choice that seemed completely logical at the time turned into an environmental accident. To understand what went wrong, you first have to understand where this happened and why anyone was out there at all. The year is 1971. The Soviet Union is at the height of its power. One of its most strategically important resources is natural gas, fuel for industry, for heating, for electricity across a vast empire stretching from Eastern Europe to the edges of Asia. And one of the places the Soviets believed held enormous untapped reserves was Turkmenistan, specifically beneath a desert called the Karakum. The Karakum, black sand in the local language, it covers nearly 70% of Turkmenistan's entire landmass, 350,000 square kilometers of featureless desert. Summer temperatures that regularly hit 50 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cook through the soles of your boots, almost no permanent settlements, almost no roads, wind that carries fine sand particles that get into everything. It is, by almost any measure, one of the most hostile working environments on the planet. But underneath that hostile surface, geologists had identified what they believed to be significant natural gas deposits. The Soviet state needed those deposits. And so, in 1971, a team of geologists and drilling engineers was sent out into the Karakum. This was not considered a dangerous mission. Geologists drilled in remote locations constantly. The equipment was tested. The team was experienced. They set up camp near a tiny settlement called Darvaza. They positioned their drilling rig. They began to drill, and everything was completely normal, right up until the moment the ground vanished beneath them. There was no warning, no rumbling, no equipment readings spiking into the red. The earth simply gave way. Instantaneously, the drilling rig dropped, swallowed whole into a massive underground cavern that no geological survey had detected. The cavern beneath the surface was enormous, and the collapse opened a hole in the earth that began immediately venting toxic methane gas. Let's be clear about what methane does. Raw methane is not just flammable, it is toxic. In high concentrations, it displaces oxygen. The gas was now rising out of this hole and drifting toward Darvaza, toward the small number of people who lived there. The team had lost their rig. They had an open wound in the earth venting poison gas, and they had very little time to act. The options were limited. You couldn't cap it. The cavern below was too unstable. You couldn't leave it. The gas was moving toward people. What you could do was burn it. The logic was sound. When methane combusts, it breaks down into carbon dioxide and water vapor, both far less dangerous than raw methane. Light the crater, let the gas burn off, and within a few weeks the fuel depletes, the fire dies out naturally, and the problem is over. They ignited the crater. They watched it catch. The flames took hold across the surface of the hole. The geologists confirmed the combustion was stable. They packed up what remained of their equipment. They made notes, and they left. Problem solved. Except it wasn't. In the weeks that followed, the fire did not diminish. It did not shrink. It burned exactly as it had the day they lit it. Because the geologists had made one assumption that turned out to be catastrophically wrong. They had assumed the gas reserve was a finite, manageable pocket, something that would burn off in days and leave nothing behind. It wasn't. What was underneath that crater was vast, deep, a reserve that doesn't burn off in weeks. The decision that was supposed to last a few weeks had just started something that would outlast the Soviet Union itself. In part 2, we go back to that crater. We look at what it became. Subscribe. You won't want to miss what's down there.